Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. It has been a brutal, awful last 18 hours. Last we spoke, I was talking to Winston Marshall, and we found out after our podcast that Charlie Kirk had died. He had been assassinated. And, just trying to process that because he had seen the footage of the shooting and he knew that he wasn't going to make it. I am very sensitive and I can't watch that stuff. And so I was hoping and praying during the podcast that somehow, some way he would survive, and he did not. And of course, that was on the eve of 9/11, which is a very solemn day, and it should be, not just in New York City and Pennsylvania and the Pentagon, but everywhere around the world and in these United States. We need to remember what happened. We cannot turn away from it. We cannot pretend it didn't happen. We cannot gloss over it. But we can highlight the heroism and the stories and remember where we were and where we are going as a society. When we lived across the street from a firehouse in New York City, I would take my girls every year on 9/11. One is in college in the Midwest, the other is in high school, and we talk about it all the time in our house. We have an action plan, God forbid something like that happens again. But my biggest worry is people don't talk about it, that there are kids their age and younger who have no idea what happened to the city and to our country on 9/11. Having said that, the thing that we must keep in mind is when people survive, love prevails. And it is so important to focus on that love. And I have two people here who are newlyweds. They are sweet and credible, and they are here to share their story. Kristin was born Kristin Marino. Her father, Kenneth Marino, perished on 9/11. He was an FDNY firefighter with Rescue 1 in Hell's Kitchen. He died in the North Tower helping people. He gave his life. He sacrificed his life heroically. His daughter was only 3.5 years old. Kristin recently married Noah Schnacky. He is a country music star, and they are here. Welcome to Kennedy Saves the World.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I know 9/11 is probably, tough for you in ways that the rest of us can't imagine. But I want to know about your dad. Like, what do you want people to know about your dad?
He, to me, is a hero, and he was so kind. I actually recently, my mom uncovered all of our home videos, which I hadn't even seen videos or even heard his voice. And from that, just seeing the way that he loved on me and my brother is like no other. And he just put us first, loved us, was so kind, would stop his day to make sure that someone else was doing okay. That was actually one of the stories that we heard from a firefighter that just told us recently that in the Twin Towers, he had heard that he had stopped for a guy having a heart attack and didn't want to let him suffer alone. So he stayed with him while everything was going on, and then of course went on his way, but didn't want to just leave him because to him every single person mattered.
Yeah.
And that's who he was, and that's who he is to me.
And tell me about your wife.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's definitely got a lot of the characteristics of the same thing her father has. She never leaves anybody behind. She's beautiful. I can't believe I'm lucky enough to have her. And I think she's really brave for sharing her story.
Yeah.
And for making that a part of her testimony. And it's so funny because an hour ago, we were on Fox and Friends, and we were the last segment of the hour. And I thought it was so cool with everything going on, and just like you said, a very heavy day.
Yeah.
That we could be just a glimmer of a smile,
Yeah.
of hope, of encouragement at the very end, that even in the midst of these great tragedies, there are still stories of encouragement. And,
yes.
You know?
And people finding each other.
Yeah.
And love prevailing and honoring that and not turning away from it. So I'm really going to try and get through this. I'm already, obviously, like, everyone who knew Charlie Kirk, everyone who knows his story, like, we're devastated. Mm-hmm. And that's a fresh pain. 9/11 happened 24 years ago. And for those of us here, for those of us who are covering it and experiencing it, it's still very fresh. For you, that's a part of your life. Yeah. That's something that you internalize. And the reason that so many people know about the two of you is that beautiful photo on your wedding day. So why did you choose to get married in New York City?
So originally I didn't want to get married just because my dad wouldn't be there to be represented, and I wanted to really be walked down the aisle by him. But as we started thinking and praying about it, we felt like we were supposed to have a wedding. And so I just asked Noah, I said, is it okay if we do it in New York, where I feel like my dad was never recovered. So for that, he's still fully here in the city. Like, this was his place. Like, he loved New York with his whole being. So that's kind of just how we wanted to get married in New York. And
I mean, the second she said, I would love for my dad to be represented in New York, I was like, there's no other option.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, you know? When somebody says something that's special, it's like, you just make it happen.
And where do you guys live now?
We're in Orlando.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Yeah, I love it.
It does.
So you were here, you're getting ready at the Plaza Hotel.
Yes.
You're ready to go over to Rockefeller Center for the actual wedding.
Yes.
And what happened when you walked outside the plaza?
So I walked outside, and the 2 Rescue 1 fire trucks were there. Current firefighters and retired firefighters that knew my dad were all lined up, just like smiling at me. I walked out, and I just could see my dad in that line. Like, for sure he was there. Like, the way that they honored me and the way that they showed up was like no other. Like, it just took my breath away. I started bawling my eyes out. I couldn't even make eye contact with anyone because I was just such a mess.
And you're like, I want to keep my lashes on.
Yeah, but they
I
all
need to
fell
keep
off.
my wedding makeup. That's
They
why I'm
all
not
fell
wearing
off.
lashes right now. I'm such an ugly crier, but I need to hear this story. Like, I need to feel that love and that honor for your dad.
It was incredible. I look over as I'm walking by them, and it's just crazy to me. I don't even know what these 2 buildings are, but from the left of the plaza, I look out, and there's these 2 mini, like, almost twin towers. They were both identical. I took a picture of it because I was like, oh my goodness. Like, even in that way, I feel like my dad is there. Like, anywhere I looked, I just felt my dad's presence so much, and him just, like, winking down at me, just letting me know that he's there with me. It was just so special. I don't know. I can't even rewatch the video. Every time I rewatch it, I just start crying.
Yeah,
again.
that's okay. And, it'll be like watching your home movies as an adult. You'll go back to that moment. You will.
Totally.
But you just have to be ready for it. But you're taking us there now, which is so special and important because, for many people who lost their family members on 9/11, and for those, like our coworker Jessica Tarlov, who lost her father to 9/11 related cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so important and beautiful to internalize those things, and for you to be able to share those things. Like, it really does help people heal and process.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
Now I want to ask you. Sorry, I have to wipe my face because it is so it is just. I was chopping onions on the way to the studio. I'm just kidding. Oh God. Okay. And scene. That's the best thing about this podcast is like, just leave it in. I don't care. So when people say to you, like, how could you bring children into this world, knowing what you've been through and your mom and your family, what do you say to them?
I think we still have to have hope. I think we still have to see that there's a lot of good in the world.
Yeah.
And that we're not all lost. Like, I think if there's one thing that I love about Charlie Kirk is he was all about turning around America.
Yes.
And, like, I got to be honest, like, I see the same thing. For every one thing that's going wrong in our country, there's a lot of good. And even in the tragedy, God is still works. And so, like, it's really cool to get to be just a bystander in that story and to watch the way that, like she may have not gotten to see her father that day, but I know he was looking down, and I know she's going to get to see her father, and I'm going to get to thank her father in
that's
person.
Beautiful.
This life is not our own. We're just getting started.
Yeah, that's right. And the eternal love and the beauty and perfection of heaven that awaits us all, like, that it has to give us comfort and solace. So tell me who walked her down the aisle.
It was really special. It was her grandpa, her poppy. And it was a unique thing because, they had his, they call it the blues, but it was his formal dress wear draped over the chair next to her mom just to represent him. And I remember the conversations that me and Keika would have where she told me she didn't want to have a wedding because she didn't want that awkward moment, and like getting to see her grandfather step in that way and for her grandfather to pass her off to me, and to be in that moment, seeing her so secure, and seeing her taken care of was so special, so unique, and beyond that, I think it was really special because I got to give vows to not just her but to her dad. Just kind of, it's funny because I wrote a song when I started country music called "Meet the Man" about meeting and falling in love with a girl who didn't have a father.
Before you met her?
Yes.
Before.
Stop it.
It's called "Meet
crazy.
the Man," and the bridge goes, "He can't walk you down the aisle, but I know he's looking down." And so I got to play her that song at our rehearsal dinner, and getting to live those moments out with her, and to see that song was just another wink that this was the relationship meant for me. And then also to get to let, not just through the song but through vows, to let her father know that I promised to love her the way that he would, until the day I get to meet him in person and thank him for giving me the most beautiful girl in the world. I think that was really special to me.
What would your mom say to Charlie Kirk's widow? She's got 2 young children, 1 and 3. Your mom had 2 young children when your father passed away on 9/11. What do you think she would say to Erica?
I think just taking it day by day, being there fully for your children. My mom stopped everything just to make sure that we were taken care of. She was at every field trip, every Girl Scouts, everything. And I would just say, just leaning into God. I think that's what really changed everything, was when my relationship with God became so real, and my heart just goes out to their children. I mean, I'm the same age as her daughter and the little boy. When me and my brother lost them, and I just can't even think about any other children going through what we had to go through, and then it's just horrible. I just can't. My heart is with them, and it's been a hard day processing that, going from yesterday to today, and just kind of reliving those moments and like my childhood through now their childhood that they're gonna have to face, and I'm just with them.
Yeah, it's incredible how the human heart truly is elastic. And the fact, I look at the two of you and the fact that you are capable of processing so many things at once, and honoring your grief, honoring your dad's life, honoring the meaning of 9/11, and devoting your lives to one another and your future family. It really is a beautiful thing, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your story, and making women like me just cry and feel, because we don't do that enough. We don't feel enough. We try and push things away and separate ourselves from one another. But your story really does bring people together. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Yeah. And I want to thank Kristin and Noah. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. And along with these 2 newlyweds, I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with the Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.